Okay, can I have all members of committee sitting at in their seats, please? 1, 2, 3. Okay, we do have quorum, so we're going to get going. This is a public meeting to consider the proposed comprehensive official plan and zoning bylaw amendments listed as items 1, 4, and 5 on today's agenda. For the items just mentioned, only those who make oral submissions today or written submissions before the amendments are adopted may appeal the matter to the Ontario Municipal Board / Local Planning Appeal Tribunal. In addition, the applicant may appeal the matter to the Ontario Municipal Board / local, what's the first time I've said it, so, / Local Planning Appeal Tribunal if council does not adopt an amendment within 120 days of receipt of the application for zoning and 180 days for an official plan amendment. And as you know, although that this is not very many people here today, but I'm sure every one of you in this room does know there's a comment sheet over there. Okay, so any declarations of interest? None? Confirmation of minutes from the 23rd of January 2018. Carried. Thank you. Okay, our first item is the comprehensive zoning bylaw 2008-250 anomaly report Q1 2018 affecting lands within the general urban area in the wards in Wards 7, 12, 14, 15, and 17. We have Vice Chair Tierney has a motion from staff to correct a map in document 1, and we also have Miguel Tremblay. Miguel, do you need to speak to this if we're going to pass it? Okay, thanks. So we have a technical motion that Vice Chair Tierney is going to move.
Great. Madam Chair, I'll just go to, therefore it be resolved that Planning Committee recommend to Council to approve the map in document 1 of the staff report, being zone location maps and schedules to show the property municipally known as 2599 Carling Avenue to be replaced with the revised map that's attached in this motion. Be it further resolved that no further notice pursuant to subsection 3417 of the Planning Act.
So is the technical motion carried? Carried. And on the item as amended, carried? Thank you. The next item is the Manotick Area Specific Development Charges. We did receive a letter from Ursula Mellons on behalf of Minto saying that they had they absolutely supported it. And we have no speakers. Does anyone have any questions? No? Is that carried? Carried. Thank you. Next item is the Development Charges Rebate Program, and this is the one that the province has just announced $125 million over 5 years for benefit to developers who are building market rent. Is it market rent or affordable housing? Market rent. Market rent? Affordable? I thought it was a combination. Housing. So we needed to identify, all we need to do to set the table is to designate housing services as a service manager for the administration of the Provincial Development Charges Rebate Program. Is that carried? Carried? Thank you. Okay. The next item is the official plan and zoning bylaw amendments 213, 217, 221, 223 Henderson Avenue and 65 Templeton Street. I have no speakers registered. Oh, Bill, you're here. I know you're here, but only if it's held. So you don't need to speak if we're prepared to carry it? Thanks, Bill. Holzman Consultants. So is that item carried? Thank you. Okay. The next one is the official plan and zoning bylaw amendment 979 Wellington Street West. We're going to hold this item because Vice Chair Tierney has a technical motion for staff to amend the language in document 2, but Councillor Leeper, Mr. Chown, and Ms. Hode want to have a couple of comments. Okay? Okay, deferral of development charges for proposed Metcalf Fair building, and welcome again former councillor and former mayor of Osgood Township, Doug Thompson. You're trying to wreck a good thing here today? Do you use a question of Doug? Okay. You always say one little question, it's never one little question. Then somebody else will ask another little question. Yeah, so we're going to hold it. Nope, we're holding it. I don't trust it anymore. I've been fooled once, not going to fool me twice. All right, so let's go back to the beginning. The beginning is actually not too far away, and that is our 979 Wellington Street West. I would ask Linda and Murray to come forward if you're going to say a few words, and Councillor Leeper. Does anyone have any questions before we do that? Councillor Leeper?
Thanks, Chair, and I will keep it brief. We have gotten out of this development 2 affordable housing units over and above the usual Section 37 benefits. So in this case, we're going from the secondary plan allowed 6 stories. And because it's such a good secondary plan in Wellington West, we had a lot of leverage by which to ensure that this was going to be in the public interest. And so we've used all summer with Mr. Chown at Novatech on behalf of the applicant, Ms. Hode on behalf of the Hintonburg Community Association, in a long negotiation to get these 2 affordable housing units over and above Section 37. I just want to point this out as an example of what you can do when you have a good, up-to-date secondary plan for a neighborhood. But I'll turn it over to the applicant and community. Thanks.
Thank you. And there's the technical motion. Murray?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And just very briefly, obviously, we're here in support of the staff recommendation. But I want to thank Councillor Leeper and his staff for working with us diligently over the last 6 months to a year on this application. I think we've ended up with a project that the city and our clients and the councillor and his constituents will all be very proud of. I certainly want to thank my clients for being cooperative in this process and working with the councillor and trying to meet the expectations of the community and in particular agreeing to the provision of 2 affordable units in this project. We certainly look forward to moving forward with the site plan application and getting the shovel in the ground. I also want to acknowledge the participation of the Hintonburg Community Association. We had many meetings with Linda and her colleagues on this project to make sure that we understood their interests and they understood ours. And once again, I think we've ended up with a project that everybody's very, very happy with, and thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Murray. Linda?
Thank you, and good morning. As many of you know, the Hintonburg Community Association has been very committed to our community design plan, very defensive of the community design plan, even so far as an OMB hearing. So it was a very difficult decision for us to overturn or to amend or agree or not oppose. So we do not oppose amending the official plan and the zoning bylaw for this particular project. The issue, as you know, the argument for accepting an increase in height is based on the gateway concept that was embedded in our plan. This was not a gateway. It's been amended now to be a gateway site, which permits a 9-story building. So for us, this brings up the specter of gateway creep, a new term that you may hear from communities that have gateways in their plan. So we welcome the study that Councillor Leeper is proposing to better define the gateway concept and to review our present CDP and refine the designations as necessary. The use of Section 37, as some of you may know, is controversial since some community members see community benefits as a bribe to the community for accepting greater height and density. So we did spend a considerable amount of time discussing appropriate Section 37 benefits, and we believe that a reasonable compromise has been reached in this instance. We appreciate the work of Councillor Leeper, his staff, and the engagement of the applicant as we struggled with this proposal. We agree also with Councillor Leeper that the provision of 2 affordable housing rental units that could be transferred or will be transferred to and administered by the city can serve as an example for future developments. We hope that this precedent will be repeated in other developments. And having read the Development Charges Rebate Program report that you just passed, there may be an opportunity as part of this program to require affordable units in the market rental housing this program is going to promote. We've been very concerned in Hintonburg, as in other neighborhoods, I understand, by the loss of affordable housing as a result of infill development as well as intensification, exacerbated in our community and I believe elsewhere by the demolition of affordable units far in advance of any construction. So anything we can do to get affordable units built, particularly those that will remain affordable, is very important. Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you, everybody, for taking the time to talk about the work that you've done. Technical motion, Vice Chair Tierney.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Therefore, it be resolved that the sentence in Document 2, Part B, Section 2 be amended by adding the following text after the words Scott Street Secondary Plan and the Wellington Street West Secondary Plan.
That item, is that carried? And the item as amended, carried? Good, thank you. Thank you, thanks for coming out. So our last item today, woohoo, okay. Deferral of development charge for proposed Metcalf Fair building. I guess this will be a legal question that you have, Councillor Brockington.
Just some clarification on the amount of time between now and when the development charge bylaw is passed. Is the development charge itself under review or for revision? How long will this take?
Madam Chair, the development charge bylaw must be reviewed every 5 years, so this will take place no later than the 4th Wednesday of May 2019.
And does the society believe that waiting until a new bylaw comes into place will be of benefit to them, as well as the deferral of not having to pay for at least 2 years?
Mr. Thompson is here, and he can certainly speak for the fair, but I do believe the answer to that question is yes, Madam Chair.
Is it yes, Doug? Yeah, yeah, because he wouldn't know that.
But eventually the city will get their DC money once the new bylaw comes into effect.
Or not? No.
Whatever rate is in effect at that time, it would be the lesser of the rate in effect today and whatever council decides in May 2019.
I appreciate it. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so on the deferral of development charges for proposed Metcalf Fair building, is that carried? Carried. Okay. For the new people that just came in taking their coats off, I just want to let you know that we're at the end of the agenda. So we have already dealt with everything. I'm not sure why you came out today. You're not listening to me. Okay. All right, so any notices of motion?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Notices of motion?
So I'll just put this in, I'll just speak to it briefly. Councillor Kakish asked me to move this for him, related to the properties at 203 and 205 Henderson. I guess they were advanced through the planning and building permit process at the time of the interim control bylaw, got caught up in it. So I'll just be putting this forward as notice of motion. Councillor Kakish will be here in 2 weeks to discuss this motion in more depth.
Okay, any inquiries? Any other business? Okay, we're adjourned. And the next meeting is, I haven't looked at all the items, but it is definitely larger than today. And then we won't have another one till the end of March. Okay? And it will be humongous. So anyway, Tuesday, 27th of February, we will be back here. Thank you. We're adjourned. That might be a record, 14 minutes.